In Taehyung room, you walk out to his room and open the gate, pressing your finger on the sensor. The gate closed after you entered. All of them stood with an extreme level of shock. This time Taehyung hugged you as he didn't want you to go away from him. Ara, you come out, Tara shouted. You, his clutch is so strong. Ara looked at you, gulping down. Ara, no, you open the door. He seems harsh. You acted like trying to get away from Taehyung and Taehyung hugged you tighter. You, I can't come out of his hands, Ara sister. Please, you go, please. Before he remove my clothes, please leave the place. I don't want to become nude in front of you, please, you pleaded. Ara eyes teared up, so did Grandma's. Clenching Scott's hand, Ara walked away. Grandma followed her worriedly, where Scott smirked inwardly. You made sure that they went. You suffered in relief and hugged Taehyung in return. You also hugged Taehyung. Taehyung sensed his hands on his back and looked at you. You smiled at him. You was overfilled when he showed his cheek to you. He asked for a kiss just like you kissed him the previous day, so he could follow up on your actions. You kissed his cheek smilingly. Before he asked to kiss you on the other cheek, you yourself kissed. After that, you walked up to the bed. Taehyung called you, keeping your index finger on your lips. You gestured for him to be silent. You don't shout. You should talk slowly. Talk, said. Whispering, Taehyung struck his eyes as he didn't know what you said. I am you, your wife, said, pointing yourself at Taehyung. I am you, your wife, Taehyung replied, pointing to himself. You, no, pointing at yourself. I am you, your Taehyung, my husband, said, touching him with your index finger. Taehyung frowned. You man, I will call him the nickname, then he will easily pronounce. Again, point yourself, you said. You, your wife, pointing at Taehyung, my husband. Taehyung didn't repeat it, but you didn't feel bad about it. Taehyung pointed to his head. You what? Taking your hand, he asked you to caress it. You combed his hair with your fingers smilingly. You, Tay is so sweet. You kissed his cheek. Taehyung pressed his lips together cutely. You thought something and showed your cheek to him. Taehyung dashed your cheek with his lip as he didn't know how to kiss you. Taking his knuckle, you showed him how to kiss. Taking your knuckle, Taehyung repeated it. You good boy. You pinched his cheek. Taehyung also pinched your cheek, but without a smile. You thought something. You walked towards the gate to see what he was going to do if you tried to leave the room. Taehyung circled your waist from behind and lifted you from the ground. He ran towards the bed, lifting you and put you on the bed. For a second, you were stuck. Taehyung, no, said, spreading his hands and legs, blocking your way. You checked. You, okay, I'm not going. Sit here. You tapped the bed. Taehyung sat on the bed looking at you. You pulled Taehyung on your lap. He laid on your lap and was looking at you constantly. You caressed his hair with a smile. Taehyung's eyes closed in deep, but he opened his eyes, checking. He didn't want to sleep because you won't be there, he said. When he woke up from his sleep, you would not have been there, so he became cautious and tried not to sleep. But he could not hold himself for long. After a while, he dozed off. You took his head from your lap and put it on the pillow slowly. You thought for a while deeply. You loosened your hair clip and made your hair messy. You pulled the saree pleats off of your shoulder and also from your waist. Taking a long breath, you walked out of the room, covering yourself with your saree pallu. Living room. You saw all of them were in the living room. Obviously, women were crying. They stood up seeing you. You rushed to your room, bowing down. Lily mumbled crying. Ara sat on the couch with a thumb, very Scott smiled inwardly. Lily, this is hell, sister. Lily cried again. Scott, this is why I said no to marriage. You said Taehyung get controlled by you. What happened now? You become a scapegoat for your brother's madness. Ara, I too don't know what happened to him. I witnessed Taehyung's case seeing you, but today he particularly called her even after Aya and Grandma were in front of him, said, spilling tears. Scott, he should have become casual with you as he saw her again and again in Kim action. Don't we know? He get bored of things easily. That's why we let him roam in the house when we are not at home. But the attraction he has in women is not lessening, it seems. Scott, it is different. That means will Appa call you again? Ask her fearfully. Scott, definitely. He will call her repeatedly until he gets satisfied with her. That's why I prefer a woman who take all his harshness casually. But you guys didn't understand the seriousness. Then what is the use of crying now? Grandma, enough, Scott. Taehyung called you to his room, even though it looks awkward. She is his wife, and we didn't force you to go to his room. She herself went to him, cutting her. Scott, that's what will she do, Grandma? Princess bought her for 10 million. That's why she think to do something worthy. Ara, don't say I bought her for money. If I want to satisfy him, I can do it by spending a very few thousands going with your words of bringing an immoral woman. Can't I? I didn't buy her. I wanted to bring her for Taehyung. To do that, I gave money to her mother. There is a lot of difference between the two statements. Understand that? Scott was silent. Ara walked to use room. Meanwhile, Taehyung in Yu's room. Coming to your room, you smiled in relief. You lied on the bed and smiled again. You sat on the bed and looked at Taehyung's photo. You miscame Taehyung. You won't believe in the future if you get to know what you are doing with me now. You know what? I got a chance to see your cute gesture after your mother. You are so cute to know. I am so happy to see your record. Very soon you are going to pose like this again. You check out. You had a knock on the door. Taking a deep breath, you compose yourself and open the door. You saw Ara with red eyes. You understood that she cried. Ara got into your room. Ara, why did you go to Taehyung's room? Don't you know he behaved wild? He is my husband. Brother-in-law said there is a chance for his recovery if he get you stop not completely. Ara, it doesn't mean you should put yourself at risk. I have to. Then what is the use of you bringing me in this life? Ara, Scott is angry with me. He think you are doing this because I gave your mother money. You were silent, so they were thinking this way. That's good. Things were falling in right place without your effort, it seemed. You don't have to worry about me. Let me give it a try. My struggle will not seem big if Taehyung recovers. Sarah cried. Ara, I'm sorry. I already told you, Taehyung is part of your life. But for me, he is my life. I will go to any extent to cure him. Ara, yes, you already told me. But today I understand the depth of your words. Ara hugged you emotionally. You saw Lily standing at the doorstep, hearing their talks. She rushed to them and hugged them together, but said nothing. You became thoughtful. What this woman will do if they got to know about how cruel Scott was? What will be Ara's decision? You sang. As of now, getting Taehyung cured was the main task. Let them decide what to do when the right time came. After some time, you changed your saree and again went to Taehyung's room. Living room. Ara, where are you going to? Taehyung is sleeping. He may start shouting again if he doesn't find me in his room. That's why I'm going to his room. Ara, what if he didn't call you? Why are you risking? That's okay, Ara sister. Ara, you please listen to me. You let him get used to my presence, Ara sister. If I am able all the time, he won't get wild. I suppose. I think we should not be the reason for his madness. Ara was silent. You walked to Taehyung's room. Your eyes wandered around the living room, and Scott wasn't there. You hoped and relieved he was stranger's man. You should not underestimate him because you didn't know when and what he will do. In the young room, you came to the young room and saw him still sleeping. You came and sat next to him on the bed and caressed his face slightly without disturbing his sleep. Your hand got stuck seeing something on his shoulder. You slid his shirt a bit more and got a clear view. It was a bite mark and it looked deep. It was the same bite mark given by you the other day when he tried to attack you. You caressed it with repentance. Was not you to behave like that day? You found a slight moment in Taehyung. You got down from the bed and hid behind the bed in curiosity to note Taehyung's reaction after him not seeing you in the room. Taehyung opened his eyes and sat on the bed checking. He looked here and there in the process of searching for you. You pulled your head down. He jumped off the bed and rushed to the grill gate. Before he shouted again, you walked towards him with a hard step, making your ankle sound loud. Taehyung looked behind, hearing your ankle sound. He rushed to you and embraced you. I am here only. I didn't leave you. You carried his bag. Taehyung pulled you to the bed and made you sit on it. He laid on your lap. You smiled slightly. You looked at the bite mark. You caressed it softly. I am sorry, said, holding your ear and making a sad face. Taehyung pulled the shirt and covered the mark. You again caressed his cheek with a smile. That's when Taehyung's light fell on your hand. He clenched your hand and cut the cut mark made by the clip that was on your left hand. Taehyung, I am sorry, said, and pressed his lips together, raising his brows, making you stunned. Taehyung, I am sorry, said, caressing the cut mark, even though he didn't know why it should be said. He just repeated what you said. You clenched with admiration. You was happier than even before. You didn't accept this much of a fast change in Taehyung. Of course, you started the medication with a little hope, trusting Mira once, but you thought the recovery will be as slow as tortoise. If Taehyung recovers at this speed, he can be cured within 2 months, you supposed. After that, you didn't leave Taehyung. You noticed one thing. Taehyung was nearly watching your action and words. Taehyung was lying on your lap, fighting with your sari puzzle. You was playing with him. You pinched his nose. Taehyung also pinched your nose. You pulled his ear slightly, but Taehyung pulled your ear harshly as his hands were not in his control. You shouted. Taehyung sat on the bed jerking. You pouted at him. Taehyung bowed down, pressing his lips and looked at you from the corner of his eyes. You laughed at his cute gesture. Taehyung kicked your hand. Taehyung made you pull his hair. You pulled it. Taehyung shouted. I'm sorry, said nervously, even though you knew you didn't pull his hair strongly. You understood why he shouted as he said, Taehyung, I'm sorry. He should have forgotten what to say to apologize. That's why he intentionally made you pull his ear to know what. You you are so smart, you pinched his cheeks. You knew it was lunchtime. Harley will not come with Taehyung lunch until you was in Taehyung room. Wait here. You will bring your lunch. You stood up from the bed. Taehyung nodded no hurriedly. I will come soon, promise. You was about to pinch your neck, but you stopped because Taehyung will also do that and will pinch his neck harshly. It will give him in. So you touched your head. You made him sit. You, like a good boy, sit here, okay? Taehyung pressed his lips with anger. You smiled and went out. Taehyung was about to get up. You raised your ring finger and gestured for him to sit. You went to the kitchen. In kitchen, seeing you coming, Harley made a plate hurriedly and was supposed to go. You gave it to me, Harley. I will take it to his room. Harley gave it to you, gulping hard. Taking the plate from him, you rushed to his room again, making Harley wonder. In Taehyung's room, when you come to Taehyung's room, he was slightly sitting with an angry mouth. You came to him and come looking at him, titling your face, keeping the plate aside. You kissed his cheek. I'm sorry. You extended a morsel towards his mouth that made Taehyung cool down, as that was a new gesture to him. You fed him lunch and Taehyung had it happily. Of course, he tried to feed you in return, in that he splotted your face with food. You didn't mind about it, but chuckled. You stayed the whole day with Taehyung. At restaurant, Arya was sitting helplessly looking at crying Lily. You know how you returned back from upper room, asked spilling tears. Arya was silent. Really, she is living in hell, Arya. I just can't stand this. I am dying of guilty. Arya, you don't have to cry, Lily, because you herself want to change Kim Taehyung. Lily, we do want him to change, but what do we do for him? Nothing. Why only you? Arya, we can do nothing in this matter. If we can do anything, we won't be sitting quietly watching our struggles. You know that. Lily, we have to do something for her, Arya. More than anything, I am afraid of Appa recovery. What if he doesn't remember you? Arya, even though he forget, we won't give up on you. Why are we here? Lily, don't we know Appa? His decision will be the final one. But in this matter, we decided on him. Don't know how will he react. And there is a problem in this matter. He will feel bad for being mental. How will you tell him you tried to touch your own sister? You saved her from you and you raped her. That's why we got her married to you. Arya, you don't worry about Kim Taehyung. I know how to open it up with him. We have no choice. We have to tell him the truth, no matter how hard it will be for him. At the same time, we can't say it on his face. Lily, I trust only you in this, Arya. Arya, become thoughtful. In Taehyung's end-use room, you wanted to call doctor and tell him about Taehyung's that day activities. You could come to your room only after Taehyung's shift. You took your mobile to dial doctor. You got stuck seeing 3 missed calls from doctor himself. You dialed his number hurriedly. He attended the call on the dot ring. I'm sorry, doctor. I was with Taehyung. That's why I could not attend your call. Doctor, that's okay, no problem. How is your husband? I don't know how to thank you. He is showing unbelievable improvement, said excitedly. Doctor, it seems you didn't trust my treatment. I trusted your treatment, but I didn't accept this kind of fast recovery. Doctor, your husband would have cured long ago if he had gotten the right treatment, daughter. But his bad luck, he suffered with wrong medicine. I already told you about the medicine. Only because of that medicine he had been that well. Not anymore. Our medicine will make his brain function active. Keep is now calm and also act as an antidote against the toxic substance on his body. Don't worry, he will be alright very soon. Thank you so much, doctor. Doctor, I told you this problem challenge we will get his memory back. Actually, I called you to give you an important instruction. What is that, doctor? Doctor, tomorrow is no moon day. Yes, doctor. We will believe there are a lot of connections with our mental disability and mood, so it is affect mentally ill patients a bit more. What can I do for the doctor? Asked panicking. Doctor, there is a small bottle in the medical kit. It is a normal bottle but 10 times more powerful than the previous medicine. Give it to your husband tomorrow morning. It will keep him balanced tomorrow night and the medicine work more powerful on no moon nights. You will see the sudden change in him in the day after tomorrow morning. Okay, doctor? Doctor, I know what question raised in your mind. Why didn't I give the powerful medicine before itself, right? Doctor, in the beginning his body was not ready to adapt such powerful medicine, but now his body started accepting our medicine as he already consumed it for 1 week. Now he will get the benefit of the powerful medicine without side effect. He stressed. Understand? Okay, doctor? Sorry for raising a question. Doctor, no, it is all love that make you question me. I can understand. You got stuck hearing the word love. You smile mildly looking at the young photo. Doctor, are you there? Yes, doctor. Doctor, I will be waiting for your call day after tomorrow. You sure, doctor? I will call you the day after tomorrow night after observing the doctor, okay? Thank you so much, doctor. You disconnect the call. You was damn happy that Taehyung was going to get an extreme level of change in 2 days. However, you had managed to keep giving reasonable excuse. By this time, Scott will surely get suspicious. If he found a sudden change in Taehyung, what will you do now? How? How could you hide such a big change from their eyes? But how long you can hide? However, they will get to know if Taehyung become a changed man. You could handle Kim women because they wanted Taehyung equally, but Scott was not like that. He will definitely dig the happiness between them if he gets suspected. You was nervous. You, hey God, I got to know the purpose of my existence on the earth. You wanted me to do something useful and also showed me the right path to travel. My Taehyung is recovering, but he has a dangerous enemy in this house itself. I don't know how to hide Taehyung improvement from him. Please do something, God. You prayed inwardly looking at a small God idol that was in your room. Did God bring you to this long to give up on you or what? God helped you even before you asked your help. Then how could he be silent when you put your prayer in front of him? Let's see what was his plan to help you. You sent food to Taehyung through Harley, mixing the particular medicine that doctor wanted you to give to Taehyung. You didn't want to go to his room before Scott left home, so you stayed back. But Taehyung, who always ate food without fussing, didn't eat it and kept it on the floor. Harley left the place getting amazed. In kitchen, Harley come to the kitchen. You, is Taehyung eating? Harley, no, you sister-in-law. He didn't even touch the food. You sighed in disappointment. You wanted to go to Taehyung's room and made him eat the food, but you could not do it until Scott was at home. You waited suffocated like hell. It seems Scott was not going to anywhere. Taehyung should have the medicine at any cost. Making yourself up, you walked to Taehyung's room. Taehyung room. You signed seeing him sitting on the bed. He rushed to you and lifted you, circling your breast. You, Dave, put me down. He took you to the bed and put you down. You, I know you are hungry. Why don't you eat? Asked smiling, taking the plate. He gave it to you. You, what? Taehyung, he opened his mouth and asked you to feed him. You smiled, nodding your head left to right and started feeding him breakfast. Taehyung ate it without troubling you. He didn't feed you in return like he did in the previous day as he was hungry. You finished feeding. You, good boy. You wiped his mouth with your sari pallu. Taking your sari pallu, he too wiped your mouth and said, Taehyung, good boy. You chuckled. You, I am not a boy. I am a girl. You, your wife, okay? Taehyung, you know you are Taehyung. Taehyung, you stressed. Taehyung, you, he pointed at you. You, I am you. Taehyung looked up for him. You, Tae, listen to me. Taehyung looked at you. You stood from the bed. You, if I run, you should chase me. You tried to make him understand through your action. You started running and asked him to chase you. Taehyung ran behind you when you started running. You came and sat on the bed. Taehyung also sat with you. Giving enough gap, you again ran and Taehyung again chased you. You repeated the action 2 more times. You brought Taehyung at the grill gate and sat there so that you could keep an eye on the way to Taehyung's room. You knew no one came to Taehyung's room but Scott. He might check what Taehyung and you were doing. As you expected Scott searching for you, not finding you in the living room, he thought something and came to the kitchen. He saw only Harley there. Scott, where is you? Harley in Taehyung's brother room. Scott nodded okay and came to Taehyung's room. He stood at a little distance and listened, sharpening his ears. But you saw him coming to Taehyung's room and started running. You, Taehyung, please leave me. I just can't bear it. You run here and then. Of course, Taehyung chased you as you practiced him well. Scott slowly peeped in and saw you trying to save yourself from Taehyung. Taehyung clutched your sari pallu and pulled you towards him. That's when they heard Dara calling Scott. Scott got alert and left the place immediately. You made sure that Scott went up. You sat on the bed, patting hard. Taehyung also sat beside you. You leaned on his shoulder. Don't know how long you could manage Scott with silly ideas. Tomorrow morning there will be a big change in Taehyung. What could you do? You was thinking about it. After a little while, you sensed that Taehyung was sitting like a statue because he didn't want you to take your head off his shoulder. You raised your head and looked at Taehyung. He pressed your head on his shoulder again. You looked at him smilingly, leaning on his shoulder. You circled his bicep and closed your eyes, forgetting everything. Taehyung raised his brows, pressing his lips together. He might have sensed something in him. After a while, Taehyung felt sleepy. Might be that it was the medical effect. He laid on your lap and dozed off within a few minutes. It was the deepest sleep Taehyung ever had. In kitchen, you came to the kitchen neatening your sari. You put the plate in the kitchen sink. Harry, did he eat? You nodded as while washing the plate. Harry, I wondered. Taehyung brother never refused to eat before like he did today. You smiled slightly. Harley, you have a lot of patience and also guts, you sister-in-law. Do I have any other choice, Harley? Harley nodded affirmative. He became wild suddenly. Don't know when and how his mind changes, said worriedly, and Harley's facial expression told you that he believed you. Harley, he is a mental disorder patient after all. But don't feel bad, sister-in-law. Taehyung brother will get cute soon. After you came to Kim Action, I can see a lot of change in him. You nodded yes and left the place with a smile. Harley felt bad for you. Taehyung and your room. Though Taehyung said you kept an eye on Taehyung, you kept on checking on him from time to time. In the meantime, you was thinking about talking Scott. On the other side, Ara and Scott's room. Scott was lying on the bed, relaxing. No matter how hard you try to tackle Taehyung, it was not going to happen. Taehyung will not calm down until he was taking the medicine. Poor Jo, she had to be chased by Taehyung for her whole life. Scott felt relieved. Time skips afternoon dining room. You brought the dishes to the table while praying to God. As your nervousness was increasing, Kim gathered in the dining room for lunch. You was the one who prepared lunch. As you got time, because Taehyung was sleeping deep, you served it to everyone. That's when Scott got a call. He attended it. His facial expression changed with anger. Scott, what? Why the hell did you do so? He gritted his teeth. Scott, I am your liar. Without discussing with me, how could you meet him? Scott, no. Until this case gets over, you should not have done that. The next hearing is in 10 days. I already told you before the next hearing, they will try to destroy our evidence. Scott, just leave me from this case. I am done with you. Scott, then what? If you are ready to listen to my words, then what is the use of me handling the case? Scott ran his finger in his hair irritatingly. Scott, okay, I will continue this case with one condition. You should not do anything without my permission regarding the case. Scott, I am coming to you, son. Scott, then how would I correct the mistake done by you sitting in soil? Scott, that's okay. Scott, disconnect the call. What happens, Scott? Scott, I have to go to prison immediately, or else I won't win the case. You who was about to sip the tea stopped hearing that. Your face brightened. You sipped the tea with joy. But you just come yesterday, pouted. Scott, the biggest mistake happened. I have no choice. Ara, when will you come back? Scott, after the next hearing. I mean, after 10 days. Ara nodded okay. Ara, I will arrange your stuff. Scott nodded okay. They went to their room to pack Scott things. In living room, today I should offer sweet to God. You thought inwardly. You stayed in the living room to see the pleasurable Scott living mansion. He came with Tara packing his stuff. Scott, take care. Ara nodded okay. Scott left. After a while in Taehyung room, you hear Taehyung voice. It seemed he woke up. You went to his room and saw him sitting on the bed. He leaned on your shoulder as he was still sleeping. You let him relax without disturbing him. Taehyung again said, you made him lay down properly and came to your room. Your dad doctor. In Yu's room, doctor, tell me doctor, any problem? Taehyung is sleeping non-stop doctor. Is that any problem? Doctor, no, the medicine is working. Let him sleep. Don't disturb him. No problem if he doesn't wake up. Okay, doctor, okay. You hoofed in relief as you thought. You offered sweet to God and you gave it to everyone. Living room. Ara, what is the matter? You cook sweet? You just thought to offer sweet to God. You smiled. Lily, you, how could you manage, Appa? Does he hurt you? Asked worriedly. You thanked Lily inwardly for asking such a question. As of now, you needed it the most. You know, Lily. At first he was harsh, but now he becomes soft. I can sense the difference in him. He's just like a child, said, because when they saw the difference in him the next day, it will be easy for you to manage them. Grandma, what it is you? You are the dawn of our family because we know how Taehyung had been. To bring Taehyung back, you are putting yourself on fire. Grandma chopped. You, he's my husband, Grandma. He will get killed even though if he got married to someone. No, I won't agree. We can see your dedication. I don't think anyone would have done the same. You, everything will be alright. Very soon, Taehyung will be like before. You smiled at him and also smiled pleasantly. After the blue, at hotel the Blue Diamond, Arya came out of the five-star hotel conference hall. In finishing the business conference, he sensed someone tapped his shoulder. He turned around and saw a woman standing. Hello, mister. I mean, Arya, where is your boss? People gossiping that you are hitting him across seven seas. She was Ria, one of the businesswomen in Seoul. Arya, he's in abroad, said rigidly. Ria, oh, are you really Arya? Or the recording voice of Taeyang? Don't you get bored of repeating the same lie? Arya, why should I lie? Ria, to keep the secret about the great team Taeyang. Arya, there is no secret in Taeyang's life. Rina, what kind of manager you are? He is the great Kim Taeyang, and you say there is no secret in his life? I heard his life itself become a secret. Arya was about to talk away. Do you remember what he said, Arya? Arya looked at her and said nothing. Rina, he said even a mental stress won't marry me. Remember, Arya gritted his teeth. Rina, there is a gossip that your Kim Taeyang become mental. Don't you know that? She laughed. Arya, Kim Taeyang was right. No mental will marry you. Arya walked away with anger. Rina, Goku, your Kim Taeyang will never become the same as he was before. She murmured. She talked like a god as if she knew everything and everything happened as per her wish. But she didn't know Taeyang was blessed with soul who got a goddess as his life partner who was waiting for his recovery. And the very next day you will taste the first fruit of your hard work. Time skips. The next day morning living room. You was having tea with Kim. You didn't go to Taeyang room. You wanted him to wake up on his own. Suddenly they jerked hearing you. Of course Taeyang was the one who called you. All of them glanced at you with great pleasure who was looking overwhelmed.